Okay, today we got a really weird film. It's called Eyes of the Mummy Ma from 1918. With a title like that, I don't even know what to make of it. It's got something to do with mummies, obviously, but what does Ma mean? I mean, is it like mom? I don't know, but let's find out. So here's the story. A young, wealthy painter named Wendland travels to Egypt, where he hears about the tomb of Queen Ma, a site far out into the desert that has reportedly driven everyone who has visited it mad. The painter is intrigued and arranges to see the tomb. When he arrives, he is greeted by the Egyptian native named Radu, who leads him into a coffin in a dark room. While he's there, he sees the eyes behind the coffin slowly open and come to life, just before the Egyptian tries to attack him. The painter wards off Radu and finds that the coffin lid is actually an entrance to a small room where a helpless young girl, also named Ma, is held as a prisoner by the Egyptian Singali-like hypnotic powers. Wendland rescues Ma from the site and takes her back to Europe with him, making her his wife. Radu is heartbroken at losing Ma and wanders into the desert and faints in the sand. A wealthy prince finds him and brings him back to health and makes him his personal servant. Wendland hires a tutor to introduce Ma to the European manners and customs, and throws a party to introduce her to his friends. When Ma begins dancing at a Middle Eastern dance at the party, she attracts the interest of vaudeville manager, who signs her to a contract. A few months into Ma's success on the vaudeville circuit, the prince decides to go to one of her shows she appears in, and takes his servant Radu with him. When Radu sees Ma on the stage, he hypnotizes her from across the room and she faints in the middle of her act. Then later, the prince visits an art exhibit which includes some paintings by Wendland. He's particularly taken by a portrait of Ma which he painted and invites Wendland and Ma to visit his personal collection. After viewing the collection, the three sit down and have some tea, only for Ma to see Radu from behind through a reflection in a mirror. She goes into a trance, faints, and becomes ill. Sometime after recovering from the illness, the prince gives Radu a letter to deliver to Wendland, telling him he will purchase the painting of Ma, which is already in his possession. When they receive the letter, Ma tells Wendland to go to the prince and cancel the purchase, which he does. In the meantime, Radu spots the painting of Ma and realizes that it was painted by the same man he delivered the letter to. He stabs the painting with his dagger and rushes to Wendland's home in search of Ma. When Wendland arrives to discuss the matter with the prince, they go into a room and see Radu's dagger in the painting. Immediately after this, they receive a report of a break-in at Wendland's house. Realizing what has happened, they rush to Wendland's home. But before they arrive, Radu enters Wendland's home and hypnotizes Ma once more, only to accidentally kill Ma in the process. Realizing what he's done, he stabs himself with his own knife. The prince and Wendland arrive too late and find the two lying dead on the floor. It's a really neat story. The film was directed by Ernst Lubitsch, who received an honorary Academy Award for this distinguished contribution in the art of motion picture in 1947, and was nominated for Best Director 3 times. His directing style is very unique. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll probably know what I mean when you see this film or any of his other productions, such as The Love Parade from 1929 and The Smiling Lieutenant from 1931. There's tons of others that you can check out too, but let's get back to this one. All the actors put on a great performance throughout the entire movie. The best one, in my opinion, was Paula Negri as Ma. She does a great job showing her gratitude, devotion, and love to Wendland, as well as her alienation from her new European environment and hesitation to participate in. It's only when she performs a native dance at her coming out party that she relaxes and begins to mix and fit into her new culture. Her dancing is hilarious. The film was produced on location in Egypt and in a German chalk quarry called Bredesdorfer Kalkberg. The original title for this film in Germany was Die Augen der Mumie Ma and was released in Germany on October 3rd, 1918. The US release was on June 25th, 1922 by Paramount Pictures as The Eyes of the Mummy, nearly 4 years after its original release in Germany. Modern audiences have critiqued the film with having over-the-top silent memes that some people think go too far. I guess I'd agree with that in some parts, but I like it mainly because of the film's thrilling storyline and the climactic scene at the end where Radu kills Ma. It's awesome! Well, that's Eyes of the Mummy Ma from 1918. Overall, the film, it's pretty good, but it really hasn't held up well over the years. So, that's really up to you to decide, but still, check it out.